Okay, what up, and welcome back to erbsclass, man, for 5 more minutes in math. So we've been having this conversation about solving quadratics, right? Or finding out where these parabolas are crossing the x-axis. Now, we've talked about solving them by square roots. We've talked about solving them by factoring. But what about if neither one of those methods work? Yeah, does that mean we can't solve it? Don't tell somebody in math they can't solve something. Yeah, that's exactly right. There's always a way to solve something. Some ways are just longer than others. But what do we do here? I know. Ooh, the quadratic formula. Oh, this is probably the first time you're hearing about this, but there's a formula that will solve any quadratic equation for us. No matter if it can be done with square roots, no matter if it can be factored, quadratic formula will solve any quadratic equation. Yeah, let's see what it looks like. Ooh, I know you looked at that. You're like, what? Okay, just give me a second to explain. Now, every letter in here is going to correspond to a number. Yeah, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take this A, this B, and this C off of our quadratic equation that we're trying to solve. We're just going to plug the numbers in there and do some arithmetic. Yeah, let me show you more about what I mean. Yes, just like that. So our quadratic equation that'll be in standard form that we can't do by square roots and we can't factor is going to have coefficients. Remember, A is always the coefficient on x squared, B is always the coefficient on x, and C is always the coefficient without a variable. Exactly right. Yeah. So we would take these numbers, plug them into this formula, and get our solutions. There's one thing to remember though. And it's the same as the other strategies also. Check this out. Yeah, same rule as before, man. This equation must be equal to 0. So let's put some numbers in here and let's get it started. Ooh, okay, here we go. So you can't factor this. Not factorable. Nope. And you can't use the square roots to solve this. So here we go with the quadratic formula. I have an A value. I got a B value, I got a C value. So what I like to do is replace these letters with open sets of parentheses, and then we'll plug the numbers in where they go. Okay, so there go my open set of parentheses, and now I'm just gonna plug these numbers in where they go. Good! Now this is the big old arithmetic problem. Let me move this equation out of the way, we're gonna need some room. Okay, I have my equation set equal to 0, I got A, B, and C, I plugged them all in. Now let's talk about what happens here. Negative 3 is 3. Good. Now this plus or minus symbol, remember what that means. There are two things that are happening here. 3 plus everything that happens after, and 3 minus everything that happens after. That's where we get our two solutions from. Okay, moving on. Still square root, -3 times -3 is positive 9. Good. These three things are all multiplied together. -4 times 1 times -20 is positive 80, exactly right. And now down in the denominator, 2 times 1 is 2. Good. Now, we still got some cleaning up to do here. Let's put these two things together under the house. Good. Now, we should always check if we can simplify this square root of 89, because if we can, we should simplify that. And it turns out the square root of 89 cannot be simplified. Yeah. So now don't forget, we have two answers here. Let's write them down separately. Good, and that's exactly what it would look like. I can't promise you your answers are always going to be pretty. Yeah, we probably, if this was going to be pretty, it probably would have worked out in factoring or the square roots. So for the ugly problems, yeah, unfortunately, there are going to be some of those sometimes. Try this quadratic formula out. It always works. Always. Yeah, if you're down to do a little bit of extra arithmetic, man, always works. I would seriously check out this practice. Yeah, I'll see you there. Bye, guys.